Hey travelers, welcome to Tripping with Amadi. In today's video, this is going to be my vlog about Zanzibar and my experience. Let's get into it. So I had to do a layover in Kenya, and I spent my time at my first lounge, my first airport lounge, and it definitely was a vibe. And the person who was tending to me did a really good job. Like, he allowed me to stay a little bit longer, had some mimosas while I was going on my trip. So it did take me 37 hours from Philadelphia to JFK to Kenya all the way to Zanzibar. So the first place I stayed in was Nungwi, and this is a little view of my spot. I stayed in Ballerina Bungalows, and it was a cute one. If you want to see my review, I definitely have it on my channel. So let's get into day one. So I woke up early and got some breakfast. I had shashusha for the first time, so it was definitely interesting to taste. And I made my way to the beach. So where I stayed wasn't that far from the beach, and I definitely got lost trying to get there because I wanted to explore the village. And we can talk a little bit around the area of Nungwi where I stayed as well. So the beach was really cute. It was small, but they also had places to eat. So you had options. Not a lot of options for alcohol. And I'm not a big drinker, but when I'm on vacation, I'm on vacation. And this was for my birthday, my 30th birthday. So I definitely wanted to do something big. And this is kind of the view.
Hey y'all, so I am coming to you with my first day experience in Zanzibar. So I'm currently in Nungwi, and this is my personal experience being here and going to the beach, basically from a full day before it started raining. I definitely echo the sentiment of Beach Boys. Like, I thought I understood the culture of that because my people are from Jamaica. So I have gone to beaches where people will come up to you, talk to you, try to sell you something, like, cool. But in my experience, Zanzibar is a whole nother level. Like, even if you're like, no, I'm fine, thank you, they will still keep on talking to you. And it's just like, majority of them, like, it was a sprinkle of women. I think maybe like two or three women came to talk to me. I am not exaggerating. 25 men came up to me, and I was just trying to be great. And it wasn't like it was in a spread of like 4 hours. No, majority of them came up to me as soon as I sat down. And at some point, because I was just like laying down, at some point in time I just put on my glasses and like pretended that I was just sleeping so they would stop bothering me. So it kind of took away from the experience. Now, I am the type of person who does not like to go to resorts because I like to give money to the local economy and not put money in the hands of people who are taking money out of a country or out of a city. So that's one of the reasons why I did not go to resorts. But I can acknowledge, if I did go to a resort, the beaches would be private. So it's like a pro and a con. Like, I am against privatization of local beaches because beaches are local. Beaches should be free. That's what I personally believe. And once again, as somebody who is half Jamaican and understanding what is happening in Jamaica of the privatizing of beaches and taking livelihoods from individuals that live in the country, it's horrible. In addition to that, I think there needs to be a collective conversation with these people of, if somebody says no thank you, just keep it pushing, because it's just like it kind of curtails like your experience on the beach if like somebody is still like trying to sell you something that somebody else has. And once again, I understand it's livelihood, so I feel like sometimes it's just like a little bit icky even just saying that, but it's just like there is a feeling of like pressure, especially because majority of them are men and I'm traveling alone as a single woman, and it's just like a bombardment, like Jamaica has enough, like Jamaica is a paradise compared to the amount of interactions that I had on the beach. And literally it was within 15 minutes, probably like 9 people came up to me. And I'm not counting like the people who came up in packs, because there were some people that came with like their partner or another person with them. So just like I had like 9 encounters as I was just trying to set up my towel. And then in addition, there were people who came up periodically, and some people would like double back, like, oh yeah, I talked to you an hour ago, so I'm gonna come and talk to you again. So it was just like, it was very, very overwhelming for me.
So after I did a good rant and got ready, I met up with actually a woman that I met on the beach that day. She was also solo traveling. So we just coupled up and decided that we were going to go to Kenwa Beach for the Kenwa Rocks, which is the hotel, their full moon party. It happens once every month. So I was just like, well, it does happen once every month, and this is the only time I'm going to be here, so might as well go. In terms of the actual party, it definitely was packed, and just a heads up, if you do plan on going there, it's definitely tourist heavy. Like, you're not going to find a lot of people from Nungwi or Zanzibar or Tanzania. You're going to see a lot of tourists and a lot of people who have accompanied tourists, including like some beach boys and so on and so forth of that nature. So just be aware that the music is definitely techno-y and poppy. You are going to get some African music, but it's definitely techno and dance. That's the main thing that I got there. So on day 2, I decided to treat myself, and I went to a spa. Fun fact, I didn't know my skin could not handle cinnamon well. I got like a cinnamon scrub and my body was itching, but the massage was really good. So this is the view of the beach before I got my spa treatments done, and it's very, very low tide, just to get an idea of like the type of tides that you're going to get when you are in certain areas in Zanzibar. And remember, I'm in Nungwi at this point in time. And henna is really popular in this country, so I decided to get a henna part of my spa treatment. And it was really cheap. It was like $20. And if you remember, it was low tide, so I got my treatments done in 2 hours, and this is what high tide looks like. Very much different. And before I left, I wanted to see my area during the daytime, and it wasn't a lot of commercial areas. It wasn't a lot of places to eat, not really lively. It was just like really like residential. So that same day, I journeyed to Stonetown for my next leg of the trip, and this is the view of the hotel that I was staying in. I was staying in the second building, so I stayed in like an alley. So there's like an alleyway between the main building and then the second building. There is a front desk staff who can help you, but it definitely got dark at night. But I made friends with one of the individuals that worked there, so we hung out during the night, and he was really good navigating the streets of Zanzibar because, like I said, there's no lights, and it's definitely more alleyways than main streets, so sometimes it's hard to navigate. And this is what a typical room in this hotel looked like, but when I was doing my research of different hotels in the Stonetown area, it is more of an Arabic and or Islamic design. So this is the kind of style of the rooms. And it's okay. I think the highlight of it is the bathroom. The bathroom is really, really cool with the tiling, and that's what I liked. Then I rushed to go start my historical tours. I found it under Free Tour Guru. My tour guide was Nasser. He was amazing, and he actually came with me for a majority of the day. And he was kind of like my videographer too, so he was definitely cool vibes. It's sweet. It's really sweet. part of my tour was seeing architecture, ancient architecture within Zanzibar. So this just showed you what time of year and decade that this door was made. So it was really cool. This is also an amphitheater that we went through. Now people use it to jog around, to do like live theater. And this is the famous Farani night market, and this is where a lot of people get
photo, video, smile.
Video.
From London.
No, United States.
Oh, Baumaling. Welcome.
Thank
Jambo.
you.
Jambo bwana. Habari gani? Nzuri sana. Wageni.
So I was advised by Nasser, just because I'm American and I'm not used to the food, to just watch out for ice, as well as know which person cooks the food in front of you. Day 4. So I started my day bright and early. The Tembo House does have free breakfast, so that was a vibe. So I got free breakfast, the coffee. So coffee is like, they normally serve it like with a cinnamon stick, so I really enjoyed that. And I got a nice view of the beach, which it was right outside of the hotel. So I then found my excursion. It was a journey just trying to find that. And the first place that we stopped was going to be Prison Island. So Prison Island historically was supposed to be made for a prison, but technically it wasn't utilized as a prison, but as a quarantine spot for enslaved folks that caught, I believe, the Spanish flu. So this just shows like the history of the island and who was made for it, who were the former inhabitants, the quarrels against it, and now the new inhabitants. So now it is housed for 100-year-old turtles. Yes, you heard me, 100-year-old turtles. And these are big boys too. These are not babies. Like look, I mean, granted, I know I'm small, but look how big turtles are. And first I thought they were like fake statues or something, and then I realized if you look really closely, their throat is breathing. They're real. They're just very stoic, very calm, you know, moving at a quote-unquote turtle's pace. Like, look at it. It's so big. I'm sorry. They were so big. And I was just like, this is so weird. This is crazy how big they are. And if you have followed any of my other traveling videos, I like to hang out with the animals. I'm not an animal girl. I don't think so, at least. But I like to hang out with the elephants, with the monkeys, with the turtles, apparently. The first time I had pet a turtle in my life. And these are the baby turtles. So they just like leave vegetables for them to like eat and nibble on when they're ready to eat. And this was like my second favorite part, was Nakopenda Island. So this sandbank disappears at night. And when I mean the water is so beautiful, oh, it's so great. So I decided to go to a place that I saw on TikTok. It's called 6 Degrees, to go get something to eat and hang out with a new friend. Y'all, I was meeting friends. You know, this is what happens with solo traveling. A new friend that I met, Claire, during my Nakopenda trip. And then I met up with another friend that I met who worked at the hotel, and he was very pressed for me to eat Zanzibarian pizza. So I said, okay. And because he's from there, he says, I know the right guy, and this guy is apparently the OG. My next day, I went to Mama of Zanzibar. So it is an initiative that takes you around 40 minutes outside of Stonetown, and you go shopping with the ladies of the village, as well as cook and prepare your food. So I was learning how to pick out the right coconuts. Apparently you got to hear it swash around and hear that water. And they were breaking down what food I was eating.
Peanuts. Very good. Where's Bobo? Well done. Good try. Thank you.
I was putting in work, y'all. Like, look at me trying to grate that coconut. But this woman is a pro. So if you can't figure out what she's doing, she's making coconut milk. I never knew that's how coconut milk was made. And this is me, you know, trying to help out, you know, but, you know, I got to let people be great. But this is me, like, after I washed some rice, putting it down. I was doing stuff. But these ladies, when I mean they knew how to cook, they knew how to cook. It was like the best food that I had my whole trip. And ironically enough, it reminded me of Jamaican food. And then I took a nap and then went out to eat. But here's a view of one of the main streets in Zanzibar, not that far from my hotel. Day 6, before I headed to Paje, I wanted to go to the Slave Market Museum. Did I get lost? Absolutely. Was I sweating like crazy? Absolutely. But I had to cover up because I was trying to be respectful in a museum in a church. So I had to cover up all the things, but I was dying inside. Dying. So it broke down that this church was on the grounds of a former enslaved market, and it also has like statues to commemorate the enslaved folks. Then the first thing that I wanted to do as I placed my bags down, because I was sweating all morning, was head to the beach. And Paje Beach was pretty calm. Like, did I experience beach boys? For sure, but like, not as much. Not as much as Nungwi. Nungwi was a lot because it was like my first day and it was just like a bombardment of people and I was alone. I was just like, I don't know what this trip is about to be. But I had to get, you know, toughen up my skin, get used to, like, nope, I'm okay. But it was definitely less people here because it was towards the end of the day and it was nice just to vibe in the water. And the water did not reach very high. It remained pretty low. If you can see where my ankle hits, it's like pretty much that height. Like it hit and I was like further out and it just hit my ankle. So I definitely sat down just to get that water vibes. And if you're wondering what some of the beach boys look like, they're Maasais. So they look like this and they have this uniform. So day 7, I decided that I wanted to go to Jozani Forest to see the monkeys. So there's 2 types of monkeys. There's the red monkeys and then there's the blue monkey, and it's depending on what kind of fur that they have. There were a lot, so it definitely wasn't hard to spot them. And they didn't bother you. They were just minding their business. You know, we were actually kind of bothering them. And, like, when you got too close, they would hide like this. And this one I just found so funny. It's, like, literally the mama monkey, like, doing the hair of the baby monkey. And it just, like, reminds me of just, like, humans doing their children's hair. I just thought it was so cute. And these were mangroves. So these are a type of tree that grows in water. And I just thought they were so beautiful and so cool. And I was not pressed to get back to my hostel because the manager was like ridiculous. We had no Wi-Fi and he moved me 3 times. So I was just wasting my time and I decided to go to the butterfly forest. Yes. And we were guided to the big butterfly tents by these friends. So day 8, which was like my last official day, I went to a couple of places before I headed back home. The first place was Kusa Cave. So Kusa Cave would be like a cenote if you've ever been to Mexico before. It's clean water. Back in the days, people used to drink from this hole. And now it is a tourist site where people can go and just get a relaxing vibe before you head out and party, because Paje is definitely a party town. I will say, be aware, there are bugs that will bite you. That is a thing. Like, I didn't know what it was, but I felt like a little pinch, and it was the little bugs. I mean, they just told you to, like, wipe them off, but don't be afraid. There are bugs. And I got peer pressured to start doing some drums. I just want to let people know that. And then we headed to Jambiani Beach, which was so beautiful and so lovely. It was my favorite beach out of all of them. And I headed home the next day. Hopefully you all enjoyed this vlog. It was a journey, so I was taking you on this journey with me. I'm definitely going to have more videos about Zanzibar if you should solo travel there coming soon. Bye!